I want to share three things that we are doing at our in-person event next week for our clients that will generate a significant amount of revenue and profit for our company. Now, if you put on in-person events, by the way, this is video number 3 in a preview series of our annual Transformation by Design Community Summit. It's our annual in-person event for all of our members and customers, clients. It's happening next week. And I'm shooting these videos just as a behind the scenes on how we approach the design, the preparation, the execution. And if you have ever attempted or you've thought about putting on an in-person event, you may already know this, but it is really challenging to have an event-based business that survives and thrives financially, especially with so many of the costs involved increasing by the day. It's what it feels like. So I got 3 ideas for you. How to survive and thrive financially with your events. I'm going to share exactly what we're doing next week. Just a heads up, this is controversial. A lot of folks would think, John, what are you doing? How is it that you're literally going to share your strategy to sell to your customers, and then you're going to put it in a video and you're going to give that to your customers? I know that sounds a little outrageous, but if you talk to somebody who is one of our customers, they will tell you we are transparent. We share what we do as we do it for their benefit. And what I found is the more transparent we are about how we operate, the more our customers not only appreciate what they get to learn from us, but the more they trust us because we're really open about what we're doing. So here we go. Here's 3 things to think about how to survive and thrive financially with events. The first one has to do with the business model itself. So here's an example. Next week's event, we on ticket sales for the event, we generated approximately $200,000 in upfront revenue. Now I got a question for you. If you were to guess, what do you think we're spending to put the event on? Do you have any guesses? I'll just tell you, it's about $200,000. So if you're doing the quick math, that would mean that our profit on this event is approximately, I'm going to make a little dot just so it's represented, it's 0%, okay? Now, I'm just telling you this right up front that we run, in fact, we're probably going to lose a little bit of money next week on the event itself. Typically we do. But our business model does not depend on the event as a profit center. The event is a way of creating massive value for our customers. While they are there at the event, there will be an opportunity for them to be invited into additional offers of ours. We have 3 different certification programs. We certify folks on what's called the Exchange Guide certification. It's how to design and facilitate gatherings in a powerful way. We have our Conscious Leadership certification. It's how to teach the inner work. If you're doing leadership development, this is the stuff that people are craving right now. And then we have an Appreciative Inquiry certification, which is how to facilitate large group meetings that enable change at the scale of a system. So we have these 3 offers, right? And our customers, they know about these things. These aren't a secret. Well, I'll tell you right now, we have enough of a history and enough data that I know pretty much where things are going to land. We're going to generate in revenue from the event somewhere between $400,000 and $600,000 in sales, okay? We know this because we have a long history of doing this. And here's what's interesting. The profitability of that revenue right there lives somewhere between 30 and 40%. So now you see that when we're looking at the business model holistically, we're not really losing money on the event. In isolation, we are. But as part of an ecosystem, the event is a value creation for our customers that is going to generate significant opportunity for us and for them outside the event. Now, if you're already putting on events and you have an association, a membership, a mastermind group, everything I'm saying, it may already be obvious. Leads me to the second idea I want to share with you, which is also a very simple idea. And I cannot believe how often I see an event that does not take advantage of this. And this is all about harnessing the momentum that one great experience can create towards another. So next week is our 2025 Transformation by Design event. This is next week. Well, even if I didn't have other services or solutions to offer, the thing I really might want to consider is while everybody is in the room invite them to purchase a ticket to come back next year. I have seen this opportunity missed again and again and again. Now, I have a personal mantra, and this comes from many, many years of putting on live events and being hired by other communities and organizations that put on events. And that is, I would never recommend doing any event one time. I would recommend thinking about doing an event at least twice, if not 3 times. Personally, I never wanted to do an event fewer than 3 times. Why? Because there's so much learning that happens the first time that when you put on the event the next time, it's better, it's more efficient. It's more efficient financially. You learn the venue, you learn the vendors and partners and providers and sponsors. You understand how to create an experience that you can get a lot of benefit from the second or the third time. So that's just a personal thing. But here's the thing. For us, and this goes back many years, I can tell you right now what's going to happen next week. When we invite these participants, and there's a special offer that's only available while they're there at the event, when we invite them to grab tickets for next year, somewhere between 70 and 85% of next year's tickets will be sold at this year's event. And think about it. I don't have to give any sales presentation. In fact, we don't have any presentation. Why would we? That sounds silly. They're sitting in the middle of the very thing that if we know how to do a good job here, they're going to want to be a part of it again next year. And by the way, I once heard somebody call this the law of diminishing intent. I don't know if I have that right. It sounds fancy. But even if people say they're going to come back, if you don't give them an opportunity to secure that ticket while they're there, from the minute this year's event is done onward, their intention and their energy and likelihood of buying next year's ticket just goes away. So it's key to have a strategy while we're together next week to make it really motivating for folks to grab a ticket for next year. And we have a saying, we talk about real-time proof. And this is why we don't have to have a sales presentation for next year, because everything we're doing right now is proof for the value for next year. There will be a special in the room only offer, which is part of how we inspire folks. And now, because we do this strategy and we get the results we get, our team does not have to work very hard to fill the remainder of the seats. We don't have to exert a lot of time and effort and money and people to fill those seats, which is a huge relief. Okay, this idea here, how to sell without selling, is maybe the least obvious of everything I'm going to share if you've been putting on events. So I want to explain our strategy for next week. And I'll say this again, it sounds crazy that I will sit here and share the strategy we're going to use where the very customers who are going to be in the room are going to get to watch this video. We are transparent with our customers. We don't have anything to hide. In fact, if what we're doing is educational for them, because a lot of them are in businesses like ours, we share what we do in real time, what's working, what's not, what we're learning, why we do it, and how we do it. So why not just be open about it all? So we have a strategy next week where over 2.5 days, there will not be a point at all where during the event, I or anyone on our team is selling, presenting, offering, advertising in any formal way our 3 certifications. What we will be doing is we will invite our participants to meet with members of our team. And if it makes sense, we will then extend to them an invitation to come to a lunch on the 3rd day. Now, during that, we're going to buy a really nice lunch. I was looking at the bill this morning. We're probably going to spend $20,000 to $30,000 on this really nice lunch for anybody who wants to give up that lunch on the 3rd day to hear about our certification. So they're opting in to learn about these particular offers, okay? Now, that's the first thing to know. The second thing to know is this. During the event, as well as during that lunch, we use a strategy called selling without selling, and I want to explain how this works. So there's 2 ways to think about how is a room full of potential prospects, potential customers, how are they going to be sold to? Well, one way to do it is I, John, or someone on our team sells them. Okay, that's fine. But I want to point something out. As you may recall from the story I'm telling you, it's not just prospects that are sitting in the room the whole week. We actually have many of our customers sitting in the room. So one of the things that we're going to be doing during the event is the name tags have clear indications as to what service or what training or certification that person is a customer of. So what that leads to is over the 2.5 days, as everyone in the room is mixing and connecting and sharing meals and moving through different experiences that we're leading, they are seeing, without anybody saying anything, all of our customers of our different certifications. And what we know will happen is over a lunch or over a dinner or on a break, somebody will ask somebody, hey, I see you've graduated from the Appreciative Inquiry certification. What was that like? Now, here's the good news. Our net promoter scores are so high. It's world class. We're really fortunate. We deliver with excellence. We know how a lot of those conversations are going to go. And so a lot of the selling that will happen is happening without us saying anything. It will be our customers selling our prospects. Now you might say, oh, John, that makes a lot of sense. I see what you're doing. But I thought you said there's a lunch where they're going to show up and then you are going to sell everybody. Well, not necessarily. I may be there to explain just the most important things to know about our various certifications. However, the selling, even during the lunch, is not really going to come from me. Because once again, even during that lunch where they're there to learn about our certifications, I'm just going to turn to the customers that are going to be in the room and invite them to share with everybody else what was their experience. Because after all, think about this. If you're one of our participants and you're curious about our certifications, you may want to hear about it directly from me or our team, but wouldn't you also really want to hear about the experience from other customers, from your peers, from other consultants or coaches or community builders who have literally been in the same seat that you're in, who do the same work that you do? Wouldn't you like to hear from them? So really, this whole idea of selling without selling, which is all about letting our customers talk to our prospects, is actually a way of allowing business to happen that everybody involved prefers. So something to think about here. If you're putting on events, choosing a healthy business model, harnessing momentum, and how do you invite your customers to be the ones that do the selling with you and for you? I hope you enjoyed this. I look forward to dropping maybe one or two more of these event preview videos. Take care.